welcome to my blind playthrough of the ROM hack Pokémblem, which is a ROM hack of Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones with elements from Gen 1 Pokemon. Last time we managed to fight the legendary birds, and we made it all the way to Indigo Plateau. Alright, I'm gonna show all the things I've trained to level 60, and a project that I didn't quite have time to make level 60, so let's show. There we go. I made Flareon to level 60, and these are the stats that Flareon got without using a lucky egg. I just normally leveled him up to level 60, and he himself decided to cap out his strength, defense, speed, and luck, and almost capped out his magic. Also, welcome Flygon, how you doing? Then I trained up a Kabutops, because I thought, you know, it's not fair to only train up the old Ember. Let's train up the Helix Fossil and Dome Fossil as well. So I got Kabutops to level 56. These became his stats. We trained up a Gengar to level 58. And he just naturally capped out his magic and speed. And I'm surprised that they gave Gengar more than 40 attack. I am very surprised about that. And I'm doing good, Flygon, thank you for asking. Then we trained up Amistar to level 55. Alakazam to level 54. Capped out Rest, Magic, and Speed. I mean, this makes sense. Alakazam with barely 30... Well, capping out at 30 attack. This makes sense for an Alakazam. I don't know what they were thinking with giving Gengar 40 attack. I don't understand it. Gengar is a magic attacker, not a physical attacker. Then we trained up a Dragonite, because I did have a Dratini, and I did make sure to train up the Dratinis just so we can see Dragonite. And in case anyone is curious, since Dragonite is a pseudo-legend, how do they translate his growth rates? Well, this is how they translated it. They decided Dragonite is gonna have a guaranteed level up for strength and HP, 85% magic, 80 defense, 85 rest, 90% luck, 75 skill, and 55 speed. That's what they decided for Dragonite. And his con stat is capped out at 25. That's how they translated the pseudo-legend Dragonite. We of course trained up Vaporeon to level 60. Managed to cap out defense, strength, and magic. We trained up our boy Golduck, who capped out his strength and magic, surprisingly. Oh, the second thing is just Paragon, the one I gave for level grinding. That's all. It's just Paragon. Then we have Venusaur, level 60. Capped out his magic stat at 50. And then got very close to capping out defense. Then I decided to train up a Nidoqueen, because I was disappointed with Nidoking's hustle, so I went, you know, let's train up a Nidoqueen. And there we go. This is my Nidoqueen at level 60. Honestly, pretty solid stats all around for a Nidoqueen. We trained up Charizard to level 60, because I also, of course, trained up Venusaur, I trained up Charizard, who also caps out at 50 magic. Then we have Rhydon, because I did catch a Rhyhorn like 2 streams ago. So I thought, you know, let's train up Rhydon. I do really like Rhydon. And there, he capped out luck and rest. I don't know how to feel about the fact that my Rhydon capped out these two stats before he capped out strength, since he has an 85 strength growth and only a 40% rest growth, yet he capped out rest. I don't know how he did that. I tried to train up Pidgeot a little bit, but I gave up, so that's why. We of course have our OG squad, Sandslash level 60, with 4 capped out stats, Aerodactyl with almost every single stat capped out, which is pretty crazy that he capped out basically every single stat, Aerodactyl, naturally on his own by just going to level 60. We have Arbok, who capped out his strength and speed, as well as defense. Blastoise, who sadly did not cap out anything, but he's right there at capping out some stats. We have Jolteon, our boy, with max attack, defense, and magic and speed. And Ninetales, the reason Ninetales have this many capped stats is because I did use the Lucky Egg on Ninetales. And I'm gonna explain why. I really want to use Ninetales, and I thought, why not cap out as many stats as possible with Ninetales? So I gave it the Lucky Egg. And that's why it's capped out. Strength, magic, defense, resistance, speed. So that way, it's like no question about it that Ninetales will be used. So yeah, I have a lot of options for my team building. A lot of options. And I've looked at just how the Elite Four is structured in like original Fire Red Leaf Green. And it starts with Ice, then it goes Fighting, Ghost, lastly Dragon. The Dragon portion, I will have to teach someone else in my squad a Dragon type move, because I'm obviously gonna have a Water type. They always come with like an Ice type move. And then I'll have to figure out someone to get Dragon coverage, or Ice coverage if they can't get Dragon coverage. For beating Agatha and presumably all her Gengars should not be a problem. Just pick any one of my squad members that are ground types. The same as Lorelei, she should be fairly easy because I can just use Electric type to defeat all her Water Ice types. And Bruno, I would just rely on like neutral damage and Ninetales' Psychic, because I'm gonna use Ninetales, and Ninetales does have Psychic, so it has coverage. So Ninetales will be in the Elite Four. Jolteon will join the Elite Four. And I think I will take I know I like Rhydon a lot, and statistically, he is stronger than my Sandslash, because he has a higher strength stat by 5 points. However, Sandslash has been the GOAT throughout the entire playthrough, so it would feel wrong to not have Sandslash at the very end. Then I think I gotta go with... Like, I know it's gonna be weird. I've used Blastoise, like, the entirety of the playthrough. But, at this point, I feel like it would just be better to use Vaporeon. because the speed stat is higher by quite a lot, and the magic stat is also a lot higher. Plus, the coverage moves I have on Blastoise, I can basically get the exact same moves on Vaporeon. So, strange, I know. I'm gonna bench my starter, but that's just how it's gonna be. We're gonna bench our starter in favor of Vaporeon. So that will be our water type. So now we need a flying type to beat Bruno. And even though I took the time to train up Dragonite, I'm gonna go with Aerodactyl. Because I love fossil Pokemon, so one fossil has to be in the final squad. Then the final slot. It's a tough one. Because I have Ice Coverage, Aerodactyl, Ninetales, Jolteon because the Ice types are part water. I have Fighting Coverage, Aerodactyl, Ninetales. I have Ghost/Poison Coverage in Sandslash. And then also, well, the evolutions can be taught Shadow Ball. And then Lance's Dragons, there is Vaporeon. And I'm pretty certain I can give Aerodactyl a Dragon type move. So these 5 technically cover the entire Elite Four, so I just have to think about types I need to cover. So although I love Arbok, but I don't think I'm gonna bring him in the end. I will probably bring Arbok when I catch like the legendaries, but for the Elite Four, I have to think about what my best units are, because this is still a Fire Emblem game, not a Pokemon game. So therefore, the strongest team is what should be assembled at the very end. So with that in mind, I believe I should put like need a queen maybe? Although no, that's ground coverage and poison doesn't do much. Poison just kills grass and nothing else. And grass and water have overlapping type advantages. Screw it, I think I just bring Dragonite just for the sake of having extra oomph, because Dragonite does have a seriously good attack stat. So he will punch a very big hole into anyone in sight, so I think I'll just do Dragonite. So this will be the final squad. Just have to make sure there. And yeah, I have a lot of TMs I need to sell because I did grind against the rematches, especially against Brock. I fought Brock so many times I probably lost count. And why I fought Brock so much? Well, his team is just easy to beat. I mean, rock types have a lot of weaknesses, and he comes packing with a bunch of slow ground rock types that can be easily defeated with any decent magic attacker. So, you know, it just made sense. Arbok doesn't need his held item, he's not going to be used. Same as Blastoise doesn't need his held item, he's not going to be used. There we go. Now, I've seen a little bit of the TMs with what moves you can and can't give, and some of them surprise me. Because I know some moves that the Pokemon can normally learn, but in this ROM hack, they cannot learn it. For example, Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl cannot learn Earthquake in this ROM hack. Which I do not understand. Like, why did they feel the need to not give Aerodactyl Earthquake? I genuinely don't understand it. Like, is it really that bad for him to have Earthquake? Would the game collapse if he did? I'm just gonna sell my bajillion bulk ups that I have. And they're all from Brock, because that's what he gives for some reason in a rematch. Nope. I have to move away, slightly away from the merchant, just so I can sell stuff. I mean, sure, he will probably be able to kill everything. I did not fight Sabrina. I only fought with my level grind. I think I only did half of the gyms, because I fought Brock a ton of times, a few times Erica, Blaine once, and Lieutenant Surge once. Also, I don't think I said this, but welcome, Raptor. I don't need this many bulk up, that's why I'm selling them. I don't need over 20 of them. Okay, I have 2 left in here, good. I should also have like a lot of solar beams or something like that. Yeah, I have a lot of solar beams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 solar beam. But I could probably give it to some of them, so should be fine. Alright, so your moveset is Water Pulse, Agility, Thunder, Signal Beam, Hyper Beam. I don't think you need Signal Beam, if I'm being honest, Jolteon. Maybe you don't actually need Hyper Beam. Maybe I could just swap out Hyper Beam for like Shadow Ball. Because if I'm not mistaken, Shadow Ball is bought here. If I'm not mistaken. Or maybe Shadow Ball is bought in Celadon? Okay, it is bought here, Shadow Ball, yeah. Shadow Ball for Jolteon. Take away Hyper Beam. I mean, you can't double with it anyway, and that's Jolteon's greatest strength, doubling everything with his ridiculous speed stat. Vaporeon, you have Ice, you have Blizzard, Mud Bomb, Hydro Pump, Amnesia, Hyper Beam. I think I will swap out Hyper Beam for Shadow Ball on you. Or I could pivot and go a physical Vaporeon with Bulk Up. Yes, Shadow Ball. Use. Take away Hyper Beam. Your moveset is... It's fine, but if I can replace Flamethrower with something, I wouldn't mind it. Like Solar Beam, for example. I could do that. Which I don't have to buy. I actually have Solar Beam. Hang on. Yo, supply! Bring out the Solar Beams! There we go.